Hello and welcome to gaming and welcome to another Undisputed video. Today I'm going to be discussing the big updates that we have been promised that are on the way in the next update for Undisputed Boxing. All of this was discussed on the latest Steel City Interactive Undisputed roundtable discussion, which you can go and watch in full over on the YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. But I'm going to give you a breakdown, a summary of what Steel City Interactive have said in this latest roundtable. And actually, there's a lot in it. It's nearly an hour long. So much detail in what's coming up in Undisputed. And I think that this is going to be the big update that a lot of players have been waiting for. So let's get into it. And starting off, the big thing that they mentioned is that an external agency has been brought in to help with some of the updates. And in fact, these have already been happening in the background. It's just they haven't been added to the game yet. Most of the updates that we've seen so far are the in-house updates, things fixing problems, solving problems, and getting things ready to ship the game and sorting things once it's been shipped. But now these external agencies have been brought in to have a greater effect on Undisputed going forward. So the team discussed the fact that they believe online play is vital to Undisputed Boxing. They feel it has to be spot on before they ship this game with a full release. Obviously at the moment Undisputed is only in early access on Steam, but before it launches on console and in full, they want the online play to be perfect. And of course lots of players have been having issues. They do state in this video that they're still seeing some players having disconnects, and I'll be honest, I've had a few, but I actually don't get it that often anymore, which is really encouraging for me. But apparently some people are still struggling with the online. As I said, I do still get some games drop out, which is frustrating, but nowhere near like what it was like when the game first launched in early access. So with the diagonal dodge having been added to the game already, they feel like the AI has already improved. Ash has claimed that they're not going to go down an arcade route, which is interesting to hear because a lot of the community and the players actually feel like Undisputed so far is more arcadey than was initially promised, because the game was touted as this simulation to boxing. And Ash is saying that they're not going to fix issues by taking it down an arcade route, which I thought was really interesting considering it has kind of already got that label from some in the community. They're going to be changing the trait system in the game so that fighters have different levels of traits. So for instance, if one fighter has a huge power punch trait, there's going to be level 1, 2 and 3, and I believe it was level 3 would be the higher level. So it should give the boxers more of an individual feel. It's better to have these levels in the game, as not all boxers that power punch have the same level of power punching. So having different levels of traits, I think, will make the boxers feel a lot more like their real life counterparts. So they're looking to introduce more risk and reward in fights. So if you go into a fight and just go out volleying punches and blast through your stamina, they're looking to try and add more risk to that, with your opponent maybe catching you on the counter. That could have a devastating effect to your fight. This is something that was talked about early on, but it does feel like it's been rolled back a little bit in recent updates. But apparently they're looking to add this back in, more risk and reward, to make it less chaotic, to make it less arcadey when you are coming up against other players. Basically, some playstyles in the future are going to get punished. Another huge announcement is that the stamina is going to be changing across weight classes. So stamina is one thing that you constantly see brought up by the community when discussing Undisputed. And so far the game, all the boxers have similar stamina, right from the bottom weight class all the way to heavyweight. All have this same stamina, and that is going to change in the next update. We're going to see the lighter boxers be able to go more with their stamina. The heavyweight class, they're gonna run out of steam a little bit more if you're throwing punches constantly. This is probably gonna have the biggest effect on those higher weight classes, because right now players are able to play in a style that doesn't really suit those weight classes, and that will change. Old school movesets were brought up, and apparently this was something that slipped into one of the updates that they had to then take out really quickly. But apparently when that happened, I never noticed it. Apparently that was really well received by the player base. So some of the older boxers, you're going to see more traditional and old school movesets. More motion capture sessions are booked to expand the way the boxers look, the way their punches look, so that not every boxer has a very similar punch style. And again, this is going to add to the individuality and the fighter idea, I guess, of the range of boxers. Now currently we do have quite a lot of boxers in the game, but there's due to be, I believe, over 200 in the final game. But giving them all this individuality really will help with Undisputed Boxing. They're going to be swapping in some punches and swapping some out. They're going to be changing up how some of the punches look for certain boxers, so expect some of your boxers to play slightly differently in the next update. Another thing that they mentioned was they're looking to rebalance some of the things that they've brought into the game. So things that they've fixed along the way, they feel that they've maybe gone a little bit too far. And one of those things that they brought up was the fact that when you dodged round the side of your opponent, you were able to get some like weird looking punches in, and they tried to fix that before by your opponent being able to sort of snap back to position, but they feel like they've gone a little bit too far with that, and they're going to ease it back a little bit to more like how it was in the beta, but not quite the same, because of course it was a bit of an issue during that phase of the project. So basically just looking to find that right balance for how this looks in the game. So apparently the instant replay system has gone over quite well with players. To be honest, I couldn't get it to work. It didn't want to work for me when I tried in my latest session. So I'm going to give that another go the next time that I play Undisputed. But beyond that, they're looking to add in a full match replay. So after a fight, you're going to be able to save your replay and go back and view it, much like how you can in a lot of other games, which I think is quite a cool system to have. It's going to help you look at where you're struggling and help you improve your gameplay. As well, it's going to allow creators like me to pull out really good clips and make it look really cinematic. And finally, the other big announcement is engine upgrades have been happening in the background, and we're going to see that come in really soon. And with that, you're going to see a lot of visual changes, especially the lighting. There's been some lighting upgrades. Now what they said is they don't want to constantly add in these engine upgrades, so we're going to get nearly 2 years worth of engine upgrades all pushed on us at once. And let me tell you from experience with another game that I cover here on the channel, Cricket 22, with the lighting, so that's one of the big things that the engine upgrade is going to help with. Lighting is such a key upgrade for visuals. We saw with Cricket 22 when they upgraded their lighting system how much better that game looked, and I think this will work wonders for Undisputed, especially in the different venues that we see in the game. The lighting effects, hopefully when they're upgraded with the engine upgrade, we're going to see a big improvement in this. But like I've said before, Undisputed, one of its key characteristics and one of the defining things is the way it looks. It does look really good. The graphics are fantastic. So if that's going to improve again, wow, I can't wait to see how that comes out. And that was all the news from the latest roundtable. What do you guys think of the announcements that we heard from Steel City Interactive? Are you now really hopeful for this game going forward? I feel like this has been a big drop of information, and the next update is going to see real big changes for Undisputed. I feel like this might get a lot of players back on side with a lot of things that have been announced here, but we've got to wait and see what they get implemented like and how they come across, and hopefully that won't be too long. I don't think they put a time frame on the next update, but good news for me. What do you guys think? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.